We have seen the colonization of Mars and humans coming from other planets to save the Earth in science fiction and superhero movies. Of course, it is hypothetical. Many public space organizations like NASA have proposed human mission to Mars, but no person has set foot on the planet. But one man in 2001 conceptualized Mars Oasis, a project to land a miniature experimental greenhouse containing seeds to grow plants on the Martian soil. It's none other than Elon Musk, who founded the SpaceX, a private enterprise which deals with the aerospace manufacturing and space transport services. Today, we at Facts Thunder are going to explore the brainchild of Elon Musk, SpaceX. The birth of SpaceX. In 2001, Elon Musk, with a vision to colonize Mars, traveled to Moscow to buy a refurbished rocket that could send the payload into space. However, the launch vehicle prices were expensive and Musk could not afford it. The idea of SpaceX came to Elon Musk on his flight back from Moscow when he realized that he could start a company that could build the affordable rockets he needed. Musk calculated that the raw materials for building a rocket actually were only 3% of the sales price of the rocket at the time. Further, by applying vertical integration in manufacturing of rocket and spacecraft, he realized that he could cut launch price by a factor of 10. And another reason for opting in-house manufacturing is that the existing components of the rockets at the time were not affordable for low-cost travel to space. Let's have a look at SpaceX launching rocket into the Earth's orbit. Falcon 1. This name was inspired from the fictional Star Wars spacecraft. SpaceX started with the idea to launch the smallest orbital rocket with minimum payload instead of building something larger, complicated, and then going bankrupt. Hence, they built Falcon 1 rocket with minimum payload as a prototype. It's a two-stage orbit rocket powered by single Merlin engine. It all began in March 2006 when SpaceX made its first launch, Falcon 1. Launch of Falcon 1 began successfully but ended prematurely because of a fuel leak and fire. Falcon 1 failed to attain the Earth's orbit again in March 2007 and once again in August 2008. After 3 launch failures in a row, SpaceX, being a private enterprise, had a good probability of going bankrupt and also became an object of mockery for many space organizations. But this did not break the spirit of Elon Musk. And in September 2008, SpaceX made history by becoming the first privately owned enterprise to send a liquid-fueled rocket into the orbit. This launch was crucial for the survival of SpaceX. After this successful attempt, NASA signed a contract for $1.6 billion with SpaceX for the delivery of cargo and supplies to the ISS aka International Space Station on commercially operated spacecraft. This brings us to the successor of Falcon 1, which is Falcon 9. Falcon 9 is partially reusable two-stage orbit launch vehicle powered by 9 Merlin engines and designed with spacecraft named as Dragon 1 to carry 4,200 kg of cargo and supplies to the ISS and can return 3,000 kg of cargoes for research. All in all, this is about goods transportation from the Earth to space and then back to the Earth. In June 2010, SpaceX first launched its Falcon 9. In December 2010, the company reached another milestone, becoming the first commercial company to release a spacecraft, the Dragon capsule, into orbit and successfully returning it to Earth. Dragon again made history on May 25, 2012 when it became the first commercial spacecraft to dock with the ISS, to which it successfully delivered cargo. We have seen rockets flying into the sky. But have you ever seen a rocket land on the Earth from sky? This is where SpaceX again made history by revolutionizing the rocket engineering, which left everyone awestruck. Generally, rockets were used for one-time launch, but SpaceX focused on making reusable rockets by landing the first stage of rockets in order to make affordable spaceflight a reality and also cost-effective. It's a feat that SpaceX has been working for more than 5 years, and this was a watershed moment for the aerospace industry. Up until now, all rockets that can achieve orbit are either destroyed or go unrecovered after each mission. That means an entirely new rocket, which costs millions of dollars, has to be built for each launch. But SpaceX has been able to recover its rockets after launch rather than throwing them away so that it can be used again, thus saving manufacturing cost of a completely new vehicle. This approach requires minimal modification, no wings, no parachutes. You are using the same system you would use for a launch, making it the most straightforward and lowest investment. In December 2015, on its 20th launch of Falcon 9 rocket, SpaceX made a revolution by landing the first stage of rocket back on the launch pad. In April 2016, on its 23rd launch of Falcon 9 rocket, the rocket's first stage landed smoothly on SpaceX autonomous spaceport drone ship within 9 minutes after liftoff, making this the first successful water landing of a rocket booster on a ship at sea after an orbital launch. In June 2017, SpaceX successfully launched for the first time a refurbished Dragon capsule which had already flown in September 2014 mission. Thus, SpaceX saved millions of dollars by reusing the Dragon capsule from the previous launch. SpaceX superseded Dragon 1 capsule with Dragon 2. It has two variants: Crew Dragon, capable of carrying 7 astronauts, and Cargo Dragon, an updated replacement of Dragon 1. On May 2020, SpaceX launched its first test crew flight with astronauts Robert Behnken, Douglas Hurley, along with a sparkly third passenger, a stuffed toy. This test flight marked the first time a private company launched a crewed orbital spacecraft. Mission to colonize Mars. Elon Musk is still thinking big with SpaceX Starship, Mars colonizing rocket. Now that's really big. SpaceX billionaire founder and CEO outlined some ambitious goals for the company's Starship Mars colonization system. The Starship architecture consists of a big spaceship called Starship, which Musk has said will be capable of carrying up to 100 people, and a giant rocket named Super Heavy. Both of these vehicles will be reusable, and frequent reuse is key to Musk's overall vision, which makes these bold exploration feats economically feasible. Musk wants all of this activity to lead to the establishment of a sustainable settlement on the red planet. This goal, making humanity a multi-planet species, is close to the entrepreneur's heart. He has repeatedly stressed that it's why he founded SpaceX back in 2002 and why he has been amassing wealth for the past few decades. Hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, hit the like button at the speed of thunder and share it with your friends and family. Don't forget to subscribe to Facts Thunder for more such interesting videos.